So welcome everyone to this third day and fourth event of our Award Awareness Week. My name is Connie Miller and I'm the Senior Director of Development and Communications, and I'm joining you from the award Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Canada, and very happy to be your host for this session today. So we're thrilled, absolutely thrilled, to be able to continue this week of celebration of learning and empowerment. For those of you who don't know, the award is a global framework of non-formal education that assists young people from age 14 to 24 to discover their potential through service, skill building, physical activity, and adventure. And our mission is to help young people find their purpose, their passion, and their place in the world. So with that in mind, it's very exciting for us to be able to bring to you this session today, From Canada to the World, Alumni Stories of Leadership and Impact. And I'm very happy to now pass this over to Rochelle Prasad, who is going to be your moderator for today, and ask her to introduce herself and to get this session started. So over to you, Rochelle.
Thank you so much, Connie. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Rochelle Prasad, and I'm currently calling from the unceded and traditional territories of the Coast Salish people, Vancouver, BC, where I'm currently living out my life as a teacher and chair of the Youth and Alumni Committee here at Award Canada. It's so good to be with everyone here today, including and especially the panelists. This is the panel that we're about to hear from. It's filled with amazing speakers from around the globe that will all have their own unique stories of leadership and impact, of how the award has changed their life, and different insights they have from their life as well. So with that being said, let's welcome in our panelists and thank them for joining us here today. So today, to start us off, we would love to hear from each panelist, as well as hear more about who you are and how the award has changed your life. So I'm going to pass it over now to our first panelist. Bibi, take it away.
Thank you, Rochelle. I'm so excited to be here with everyone. I'm currently speaking from the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe and Algonquin people here in Ottawa. My name is Bibi Hakim. I'm born and raised in Toronto. I am currently working in Ottawa in the Minister's Office for Transport Canada as a Senior Parliamentary Affairs Advisor and Parliamentary Secretary Assistant. And also, I do the Prime Minister's Issues calls every morning, formerly with Global Affairs, and a proud bronze, silver, gold, and UK diamond award holder with the Duke of Edinburgh. I'm also part of the Ontario Council, and I have the privilege and honor of joining you once every so often with the Youth and Alumni Cabinet as well. And again, very thankful and thrilled to be here to join all of you.
Thank you so much for taking your time and being here with us. We are going to and would love to hear from Kate next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Konstantinova. I am currently a chemistry and French teacher at Greenwood College School in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I've been involved with the Duke of Edinburgh Award since 2012. I am a silver and gold Duke of Edinburgh Award holder, and at Greenwood College School I am this is my fifth year, actually sixth year of being an award leader, and recently I've also joined the Ontario Local Council with Bibi.
It's so great to see a fellow teacher. Hello to you as well, Kate. We're going to hear from Sophia next.
Everyone. So my name's Sophia Parkins, and I'm joining you from Western Australia. I'm currently a lawyer working in the private clients team at Hall & Wilcox. It's a national Australian law firm. Prior to this, I was an associate to the Honourable Justice Natalie Whitby at the Supreme Court of Western Australia. I've completed my bronze, silver and gold Duke of Ed awards. I've also acted as an award leader. I've completed my Duke of Ed Diamond Challenge and Do It for Youth Challenge, and I'm currently a panel member on the Youth Advisory Panel for the National Board of the Duke of Edinburgh Award Australia.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sophia. We're going to pass it off to Esanju.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Esanju. I'm a bronze, silver, and gold award holder, Previously, I worked with the National Office of the Duke of Edinburgh's Award in Zambia, helping set up that office and get things going there as they established a national operation. I currently I live and work in Melbourne, and I work with KPMG as an IT auditor. And in my free time, I also volunteer on the Tier Fund Australia National Board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, panelists, for the quick intro there. It was very evident that the award has shaped your experiences and also helped you explore and grow in certain ways. And that's exactly what we'd like to learn more about as well from your own life, starting with Bibi. How has the award shaped your leadership or life direction?
Thank you. So when I started the award journey, I was unfortunately being bullied in high school. So for me, the award holds a very special place in my heart because it gave me exposure to leadership opportunities and basically guided me on the path that I am on now in public policy and in government. It gave me the opportunity to lead teams specifically for the Adventurous Journey and with what we now call the Gold Project. So I had the opportunity to come to Ottawa to lead a little policy group, which I was able to get accepted to the University of Ottawa, which I got to pursue that policy idea a little bit more. And now we have the first mental health legislation in Canada and the first mental health minister. So for me, the award exposed me to people that I wouldn't have otherwise been exposed to and provided me with mentorship that I'm lucky that I got to connect with these people and still continue to maintain those connections today.
That's amazing. And I love how you mentioned mentorship is a huge aspect of the award, as well as advocacy. That's something that I found in my own life as well with the award is the different levels, bronze, silver, gold, really help you figure out what advocacy looks like for ourselves and for the world around us and how to really implement policy in that perspective. And kudos to you for all the work you're doing at Parliament as well, and especially as a young person. Yeah, take all the kudos. That's amazing. And we would also like to hear from Kate as well when it comes to the advocacy side of things and also volunteering and how the award has shaped your leadership journey. We want to hear all the good stuff. Kate, over to you.
Amazing, thank you. So the award has taught me many skills such as leadership and mentorship that I use daily in my teaching practice. Skills like organization, compassion, empathy, and resilience have been strengthened throughout my journey with the award. It has also helped me discover who I am and who I want to be and strive to really reach my full potential. I have found that the award has inspired me to really pay it forward. I love helping my students really discover what the award is and how they can get involved with it and how aspects of their life that they're already doing already kind of are parts of the award already. It has also helped me find my passion for horseback riding, ballroom dance, outdoors, and yoga, which supports my maintenance of positive mental health and a work-life balance.
Thank you so much, Kate. And I could definitely relate to that. I'm sure lots of members of our audience as well, being a teacher yourself, or even anyone going through the K-12 system in Canada or across the globe, the award really helps you there with your self-development, but also in the educator hat too, helps us develop the curriculum in a way that can complement the award and also enhance student development. So really appreciate you sharing that as well. And Sophia, what do you think? How has the award shaped your leadership journey?
I think for me, the award helped me to really appreciate the benefits of taking alternative pathways, especially with my career. It certainly shaped its direction. I graduated uni in 2020, so my profession, along with the rest of the world, was grappling with the new realities of a global pandemic. The opportunities that were usually available to law graduates at the time weren't there. They changed, and I had the flexibility to change with them. And I gained experiences and knowledge that I never would have had as a typical graduate role. And I think that flexibility and knowing that not everything has to be in a straight line is something I got from the Duke of Ed.
That's awesome. And it's so great to hear your perspective as well, from Australia and just from your lived experience to see how life education works overseas and around the globe. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And speaking of around the globe, let's hand it off to Esanju.
Hi. So with me, I think the award gave me my first real taste of leadership, and it taught me a lot about mental resilience as well, from leading the teams through tough expeditions. Yeah, some of them were really tough, but also just taking ownership of my different activities that I had to complete. And so what I found is that it taught me a lot about resilience and showing up for others. And I've been able to apply that through different parts of my life. As I mentioned earlier, I helped with setting up the Zambia National Office. So we were just setting up things, and you know the challenges that come with that as well. And Twambo can attest to this. We've been on this journey together. Um, so it gave me the opportunity to just be able to step into the position and help to show the value that this award brings to the Zambian youth. And further than that, through experiences like the International Gold event, I got introduced to aspects of global advocacy. And this led to me being able to advocate even at a global level through the Commonwealth Youth Networks, which are very closely linked with some of the work that is done through the award. Thank you.
It's very interesting. You brought up lots of amazing events and even an office that you helped set up. I would love to, and I'm sure everyone else in the room would also love to hear more about a powerful story or even a challenge you went through, anything connected to your award experience. It could be setting up the office or it could be from the Commonwealth, sorry. I would love to hear from you, Esanju. Is there a story in there?
Yeah, sure. So I'll probably share a story. So we had a lot of challenges with setting up the award office in terms of just trying to convince people. First of all, we're talking about living in a country where a lot of people can barely pronounce Edinburgh. So that was interesting. But then we're coming to them with this program and just trying to show them the value of it. But the goodness of it was that we had a lot of people who had gone through the Outward Bound program in its earlier years. And as you would know, the setting up of the award was closely linked with the founder of the Outward Bound program. So that really helps us. We're able to integrate the two stories together and show people the value that this could bring to young people. Sorry, yeah. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And speaking of stories, we're going to see what Sophia has as well and see if, Sophia, if you have any stories of your Australian experience with the award.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting stories that I had was that the award for me, my bronze award skill of golf, actually ended up evolving to become my gold award skill of coaching junior girls golf. So it was really wonderful to be able to take the skill that I had learned and then be able to help others to improve their own skills, which is something that I've been able to take into my career and my life generally as a mentor, and in terms of as an award leader was fantastic. To constantly be improving so that I can use my skills and knowledge to, help others do the same.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Sophia. And cross-functional skills, that is truly what the award is all about in all aspects of our life. So truly appreciate you sharing that. And we're going to flip it over to Bibi here. What's one powerful story or challenge from your award experience in Canada?
I think it's a very vulnerable story, which is how I got started with Duke of Ed. And, I've often said, I've gotten bullied in high school, but I really want to give credit to my teachers at North Albion Collegiate who knew about the award and led the award program there. And if it wasn't for my teacher, Mr. Munchinski, who strongly encouraged that I did the award, I don't think I would have ever been a part of the alumni family. Coming from Rexdale, which is an underprivileged community in Toronto, we don't often hear about opportunities to, promote self-development or personal growth, or some of the literacy programs that they do with fintech and skill development with skill trades. So when I heard about Duke, I didn't know what it was, and I was so hesitant to join and to even get started because, again, I didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until I did bronze and, made it to the bronze ceremony after going through camping for the first time, which I'll admit, like, I've never gone outdoor camping and actually roughing it in a tent if it wasn't for like going through the award journey. And after that point, I was like, okay, I made it through bronze. Let's see what silver brings. And I ended up becoming the first girl on my boys' football team. I did volleyball, and then I did a longer expedition for my camping trip. Thankfully, it wasn't rain, snow, hail, and sleet all at the same time. It was a little bit more stable weather. And then once I got to gold, I was like, okay, like, this is really an opportunity to finish it off. But then at that point, I didn't know that there was life after the award. I didn't know about what we had, which was the Ontario Council at the time, which was a little different than how we have it now. And I didn't know that there were other ways to give back, because during my award journey and getting started and, getting that push from my teachers, it was such a meaningful experience for me, that I wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity to continue and lift somebody else up. So when COVID hit, that was something that, like, we didn't get to meet in person. We didn't get to like see our community and whatnot. So when the virtual award centers really, came up, like, that was an opportunity that I got to give back to my community in Toronto and in Peel, because I got placed in Peel. So it's a very humbling experience and vulnerable. But if anybody gets anything from my message, is to just do it and just give it a try, because you never know where it's gonna take you. And I'm very, very grateful to my teachers at North Albion that pushed me to do it, because I wouldn't be here today talking about my story.
That's so powerful, Bibi, and I totally agree with you. And I'm sure on every one of our panelists does as well. All it takes that one person, that one supporter in our life to say, "Hey, you belong, you matter, you have lots of amazing things in your life. Let's elevate that. Let's see what we can do with that, so we can also help make a difference in our world." I truly appreciate you sharing that. And one thing you mentioned about your tent and camping experience, it actually reminded me about how I got involved with the award. It was through Girl Guides, and one of the expeditions that we did through Girl Guides and also with the Award Canada was we were in northern BC, and our goal was to survive basically for 3 days in very heavy snowfall. And what we ended up doing was digging an igloo, but underground. So it was like a cave igloo situation. And there was 15 Girl Guides. We all were underground, sleeping, eating, cooking a fire with like a campfire underground. And then we had to like make a sort of a top opening for the smoke to go out. It was a whole expedition. And your story just reminded me of mine, because it's all of our stories are interconnected when it comes to resiliency, making community, as well as those life surviving skills or not that we need from the Award Canada. And it's always interesting to see, how we all got involved. And thank you again for sharing. And thank you for reminding me too about where I started with all of this as well. And
I
we
will
would love
say camping was the most fun part of the award. I didn't expect all 4 precipitations to come down in time, so I'm
Right?
glad that we shared snow together.
That's awesome. And speaking of, let's go over to Kate and let's hear more about a story or a challenge that you've been through with the award.
Amazing, thank you. I'm also a fellow Girl Guide.
There we go.
So back when I was completing my silver and gold awards, I was one of 2 students in the entire high school of about 800 people who knew what the award was. And so we didn't really have much support completing it. Big shout out to Mr. Contini at Abbey Park High School, if he's still there. He was the one and only who knew what the award was and really encouraged us to join. I also had to do a lot of research to find out how I can continue my gold award into university, because I am born in December, and back then when I started, I could not complete it within my high school years. Big shout out to Linda Lamoureux from Queen's University, who helped guide me through that. And so the award helped me build resilience, and it was a great accomplishment that motivated me to become the award leader that I am today within my school. As well, it did help me keep grounded during a traumatic family experience, because it gave me something I could focus on that interested me. It helped me keep going through the difficult times in my life. So that it really was just a place for me to come back to know that, I belonged and what I'm doing is important to my growth. And it was a great space to be kind of present in the moment.
That's very important too, to also understand how our values are shaped through the award as well. And that builds lots of character, but personal growth as well, which is important. Thank you so much, Kate, for sharing, and to all of our panelists for that. And one aspect of all of our life stories here, and one thread that English that threads familiar to all of our stories, is youth engagement and youth leadership. And that's one thing that we want to get into here in a second. Is we want to go back to Esanju and ask, how does youth leadership look different or similar in your country?
Thank you. So in Zambia, I would say youth leadership is an evolving issue. So traditionally, we're a more conservative society, and leadership has often been reserved like for the elders because there's a strong element of respect. So there's what this sometimes means is that the young people are not considered for certain positions, or the elders feel like they need to monitor certain positions that young people are given to lead. But we are seeing a change around this, where we're seeing a lot of young people taking up key positions, whether it's in society. So we actually have a lot of young people who've been appointed in the current government to take on key positions because the president is quite passionate about youth leadership and making sure we give these opportunities to young people. But we also see young people taking on key positions in the industry as well. And I think there's quite a shift taking place where you now see people then looking and saying, okay, I think these young people actually know what they're doing, and they have the skill set, the education that they need to perform these roles. So there is that mindset shift, but you can imagine it's also against a backdrop of a culture where young people often weren't given this opportunity. So sometimes the elders are still a little bit suspicious, but you can definitely see young people taking their place.
That's amazing. This is exactly the type of platform that young people really need. And that's also helped a lot of us in the room today, especially myself, with advocacy, is having not even just the brand, but the family and the network and the community of the award has helped so much. And thank you for sharing a little bit about that here. We're going to go over to Sophia next. How does youth leadership look different or similar in your country?
In Australia, we are really lucky in that a lot of space is made for youth leadership in a lot of different areas. There's youth leadership opportunities within each of Australia's state and territories. Like we have government-based programs which are aimed to get students into policy and decision-making, as well as prepare them for different sectors and industries. We also have a lot of charity organisations that open space up for youth advisory positions and ways for youth to learn about board leadership and management. We're really lucky that in Australia, of course, I'm on the the youth advisory panel for the National Board for the Duke of Ed. So the Duke of Ed has opened that pathway for us, which is fantastic to kind of see it from a management perspective, especially coming from having done the award to seeing how it's run and helping to advise on how we can grow that has been fantastic. And then I was really lucky for my residential project for Gold. I was one of the members of the WA Youth Parliament. So we had a whole week where we drafted bills, we debated them in Parliament, and then these were actually presented to the Governor, Premier, Leader and Opposition, and that's been running for decades now. It's a fantastic program to kind of introduce that side of the world to youth and youth leadership, which is, yeah, we're very lucky.
That is amazing. Youth opportunities is where it is at, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Let's hear from Bibi as well. When it comes to youth leadership, how does it look different or similar in Canada and in your life?
I think for me, I'll go back to how Duke started for my school. And we had an award officer that was paired with my homeroom teacher who happened to lead the award. And I think the biggest thing that I've seen with my journey is the push for grassroots youth leadership. So while you were pursuing the award, you were really pushed for peer-to-peer interaction. And that was probably one of the main goals that we had when we had the virtual award centers was ensuring that you didn't feel alone and that you had someone to connect to. So I think the 6 of us that were part of that cohort that kickstarted the pilot, when we held office hours, we made sure that, we tried to do a peer-to-peer approach, but also relate to the award participant as much as possible, because we were once in their shoes and shy and nervous and like, what do I do and how do I go about this? So we would try to research or problem solve and troubleshoot the issue together. And I think that was something that I truly appreciated as a past award participant, and to see that continue as an award leader for the virtual pilot project. I think it's a full circle and a butterfly moment for me there.
Definitely, and thank you for that. We would love to hear from Kate as well. Let's continue the conversation on how does youth leadership look like for you and in your country.
Okay, so in many Canadian independent schools, students are empowered to seek out leadership opportunities within their school community, the Greater Toronto community, and beyond. In my school, students can join and eventually lead committees such as athletics, arts, business, sustainability, host ambassador, and others. Outside of the classrooms, students can find creative opportunities to practice those leadership skills through charitable organizations such as Sandwich Sisters and nursing homes, such as the Light Up Squad, which supports seniors with dementia, Reading Buddies, and many others. When students go on outdoor education twice a year with their grade, they have various wilderness leadership opportunities available to them as well, so they can step out of their comfort zone, try something new, and then encourage others to try it as well. And once students are working on their silver and gold, they have the opportunity to act as mentors to the younger students who are working on their bronze award within my school. And it's a great way for them to be student ambassadors for the Duke of Edinburgh Award.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Kate, and thank you so much to our panelists here for sharing more about youth leadership, how it looks like in your life. And it's always amazing to see how the award supports youth leaders like ourselves, but also the next generation, and how it helps us mentor the next gen of award holders as well. And as we move on to our final question of the morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you may be based out of, I also wanted to let the audience members know, if you have a question, feel free to drop it in our Q&A channel or in the chat, and we'll have one of our staff members here monitor the questions as they come in. So now is your time to put in your questions as we go around and hear from our panelists from our last roll call here of our question. So once again, if you have a question, feel free to put it into the chat and we'll get to you soon. Okay, so our last question for you for this session or this section is, what makes the award unique in an international context? And we're going to hand it over to Sophia and then going on to Esanju, Bibi, and Kate. Sophia, over to you.
I think what makes the award unique is that it provides a unified framework which is shared by every country in which it operates. It allows anyone who's undertaken the award, regardless of what country they're from, to have shared experiences with other award participants, even someone on the other side of the globe. As we've seen with all the discussions that we've had today, there's this connective tie with all of our stories, and whether it's leadership or gritting through elements, not quite snow in Australia, but certainly sun. But there's just this tie that everyone has, which is so unique and so special to the award, that it can be so global.
Thank you so much, Sophia. And Esanju, over to you.
I'll definitely agree with Sophia on that. The award's strength lies in its universality. Its values on resilience, service leadership, and personal growth transcend culture, geography, and background. One thing I've also really appreciated about the international context of the award is I feel when you look at the different countries, it gives us, and you can see from the stories that have been told, it gives us the opportunity to explore our countries and learn about the people of our countries in ways that we never would have. Like I have experiences where I did some community service projects in in a rural area where there was no cell phone coverage, for example, and I would have never found myself there. And I did expeditions across one of our biggest lakes called Lake Tanganyika. I'd probably just have gone on holiday there, but we had to do 8 hours of canoeing as part of our gold expedition. So those are experiences I just never would have had. But also I've gotten to appreciate a lot about the international context of like youth leadership and life after the award through experiences that I've had through the International Gold event. But also I got involved in, I think it was more of a one-off event. It was called I think the Gold Award Holders Network workshop. We were trying to set up a network at one point, but didn't quite go through. But I got to meet a lot of other Gold Award holders and people who've been impacted by the award through this. So that really opened up my eyes a lot to leadership at an international level, but also just gave me the opportunities to network with a lot of people. And I think those are just some examples of the benefits that the award provides at a national and international level.
Thank you for sharing, and it's always great to hear what's going on in each and every country. And speaking of countries, let's go to Canada. We'll do Kate and then Bibi.
Okay, what makes the award unique? Over the years, the question is what makes the award unique in an international context, correct? Okay, thank you. Over the years, the award has grown to be well recognized across Canada and internationally, and it has a very unique framework that helps everyone find a connection to their own story. It's very applicable to universities, post-secondary education in North America and abroad. Students that I've spoken to have voiced that the award's unique ability to show their well-roundedness and growth has helped them in their post-secondary education application processes, as well as it has helped students to really find their people and the places where they truly feel like they belong.
Thank you so much, Kate. And we're going to go over to Bibi.
I think what makes it unique is something that everyone has talked about, which is also connection and community. I have the privilege and honor from time to time to travel across the country and sometimes around the world with the ministers. And something that I always wear when I'm on tour is one of my Duke of Ed pins, which are either bronze, silver, gold, or the diamond UK pin. And a lot of times it's a conversation start of, what is your pin? What does it mean? What does it represent? And it gives me an opportunity to share my story and how much the award has impacted me. But at home for my community in Rexdale and Toronto, it's a time where, my cohort from bronze gets together and we share our stories and we try to empower the next generation in my high school or middle school to, keep the award journey alive and get more people involved. But definitely it's created a network of people that we can kind of go and seek advice from, whether if it's alumni or going to an award center and saying, hey, I have an idea, here's how I can help. I think that's what the value of that we all share together.
Right on. Thank you so much, Bibi. And one thing that's very common with all of our life stories and answers here today is that the award holds such a valuable community, and it doesn't matter where we are in the world. If we are wearing a pin or if we are talking about the award, there's different threads that connect us all in different ways, and it opens us up to new friendships and new families and new opportunities. So it's because of this community that we're all a part of, which is truly amazing. Speaking about community, let's check in our chat and see what we have going on here. So I do see some questions here for our panelists. I'm going to direct the first one here to Kate and Sophia. So if you could give one piece of advice to a new award leader to enable youth leadership or increase engagement, what might it be?
That's a really good question. Can I ask a follow-up question? Is it the teacher asking or just someone who is a new award leader?
Let's do new award leader.
Okay. I think one piece of advice I would give someone who's starting as an award leader to really empower youth to join the award is just starting the conversation and finding ways you can, in your workspace or in a school, how you can advertise and showcase the stories of Duke of Edinburgh Award, whether you have completed the award or whether you know of people who can share their stories. It's definitely a very great way to start the conversation, to show the workplace or the school what the award is. And I also have found some of the past alumni students that I've had, I've asked them to record a video of what the award means to them and how it has like shaped who they are. And I still play them on morning announcements and in September when I present to the various grades about the award. And it's very meaningful to hear, someone who's their age talk about the award and not just like a teacher or adult talking to them about the award.
Thank you so much, Kate. And real tangible examples as well is super relevant, and it helps out a lot of people as well on how to put that into their own lesson plans or even their own communities and lives. So thank you for that. Sophia, what's your one piece of advice to a new award leader?
I would say, especially for a new award leader, is it's good to remember to meet participants where they're at. So the awards, part of the awards greatness is its flexibility to stretch out to so many different areas of a life. And, there's no limit to who can do the award or what the award can encapsulate for each person. So remembering that is really, I think, really important, and will really help not only with their engagement, helping to know that they choose things that they're passionate about, as well as, meeting them where they're at in terms of what is achievable for them. So obviously what we might think of as a really small goal could be really huge for them. So remembering that, everyone's context is different will really help in, engagement and also just connection.
Oh, right on. Meeting people where they're at is exactly what all the levels are about, bronze, silver, and gold, and really helping the young people in the next generation build out whatever they're currently working on. And it's not changing who they are, but adding to their growth, which is awesome. Thank you so much again, Sophia and Kate, for sharing. We're going to turn around here to Esanju and Bibi. We have a question for you. If you were the award CEO in your country for the day, what's one thing you would do to change for the better? So we're going to go to Esanju first.
Oh, that's such a great question. So I think one thing I'll do, and I'll probably be a little bit biased, but I'll make it almost mandatory for people to take on programs like the award, just because of how it teaches you leadership, like outside of the classroom. And that's such an important element. Sometimes you find, and this is not in any way the fault of some of the schools that we have in place, but sometimes you find it's becoming more and more common that it's harder for people, students as well, to get involved in extracurricular activities. Just as bigger cities rise up, you find things like sporting facilities are not what they used to be, or are not as large as they used to be. So there's some of these things are actually left out of the conversation when they're designing certain school curricula. But I think it's very important that we keep those things in place. So I'll definitely make having programs like the Duke of Edinburgh's Award something more compulsory in certain environments where people can actually take this on, whether it's just getting an experience of it and seeing if they want to complete it, but at least giving them the opportunity to take it on and see if they enjoy it and if they're able to learn from it.
Thank you so much. And Bibi, over to you.
I think similar to Esanju is like, and I think it's something that Canada is working on, is trying to make it permanent to the educational program. And I want to give credit to where credit is due with Mark and his team, who's like working so hard to see this happen. And also, if there's something that I could do as CEO, I would probably try to advocate with the government and different partners for sustainable funding, because I know that for different parts of the award, you need to do different things. And like, I know for me, when I did Adventurous Journey, I had to go do Algonquin, or for my gold project, I came all the way up to Ottawa. And there are sometimes added costs to doing the award and like participating in it that might be a barrier to some folks. I know it was a barrier to me when I first started. So I would try to find a way that the governments can get on board to provide educational funding and make it part of their core funding for budget when Budget Ontario comes out, or Budget Canada.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Esanju and Bibi. And right on, private-public relations, government relationships, as well as teachers is something that the Award Canada is working to build more relationships with from coast to coast. And Kate, we have a question for you here. And it's our last question before we move on to our final. How would you suggest informing and engaging admin or teachers about the award in your school?
That's a great question. I've had to learn through experience. So something that I do in the beginning of the year is I have a meeting with the teachers and advisors in my school, just telling them a little bit about the award and what it means to me and what it means to the students that they're about to be welcoming to our school. We have a really great leadership team, administration, that's very supportive of new ideas. I think what's important when you're involving your administration team in I guess growing the award at your school or your workplace is kind of having the who, what, when, where, why answered before you go kind of introduce new initiatives and new ways that you might want to approach making the award more well known. And usually it's received very well. We've now done a lot of our ceremonies for bronze, silver within our school, and then we leave our gold recipients for our celebration day in the end of June. So we do kind of a different version of a ceremony, but it's also a great way that all the teachers and all of the leadership team administration can see the impact that the award is having on the students, and that even in the smallest way, they're all contributing to it too. I hope that answered the question.
Right on, it did. Thank you so much, Kate. And we actually have one more question, but this is how we're going to incorporate this. During our last roundabouts here, as we go around from Esanju to Bibi to Kate to Sophia, we would love to hear one last point or a piece of advice or anything you'd like to share as we round off today. And Sophia, as we end with you, we would also like to hear what does Australia do differently from other countries in managing social media when it comes to the award? If you can include that in your answer as well, that would be greatly appreciated. So we're going to start off with Esanju.
Sure. Sorry, Rochelle, can you just repeat the first part?
No worries. It's your last piece of advice, words of wisdom, something you want to leave off with.
All right, okay, great. Sure. So for me, I would just say the award didn't just shape my path. It gave me a lot of courage to just be able to take on life and just take on leadership positions. I've seen Twambo has posted in the chat about how I've been taking on some of the world majors. I completed my first world major marathon this year, which was the Sydney Marathon. It's new to the majors, but even things like that, there was a point in my life where that wasn't something I even thought I could do or a task that I could take on because it's so challenging. But having been through experiences like the award, it definitely opened up my life and my thinking in terms of what was actually achievable to me and how I could overcome challenges that were previously thought impossible to me. So it helped shape my mindset and help just build my resilience. And that's something I would encourage other young people on the call with, and just say, sometimes things may look challenging, but I feel like with the kind of experiences you get through the award, you can apply those to any life situation and help use those to overcome those challenges. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Over to Bibi.
For me, it's more than just the 3 pins that I wear proudly on my chest. It's the bonds of friendships and connections made along the way. It's the lessons learned and fears overcome. And it's really what you make of it and how you choose to use your platform post-award. So if anybody is, hesitant, I'd say just do it and give it a shot. You never know what you can get, what comes out of it, and you never know where you'll end up. You don't know unless you try.
Thank you, Bibi. Over to you, Kate.
Thank you. So for award leaders and award participants, this is my little piece of advice. I think, in my opinion, the first and hardest step of the journey with the Duke of Edinburgh Award is to make a commitment to the award. Once you accept this challenge, it's very easy to continue and complete the award, support those participating in it, and find connection and find community as you're part of the award. Know that you have a wonderful network of supporters rooting for you to reach your full potential, to try new things, and to step out of your comfort zone. Enjoy the process and reflect back after you completed on how the award has shaped you into who you are today.
Thank you so much, Kate, and over to Sophia.
I think my kind of final piece of advice would be that the award is always going to extend beyond itself. It's as much as we learn and as fantastic as completing the award is, it's what you take with you for the rest of your life that is really the impact of the award. And I think making sure that you're open to that is what will really help the award to make a difference for you. And then in terms of how Australia does things differently, I would say we're really lucky with our level of engagement in Australia. We have a huge number of participants, and with that comes a huge number of stories that we get to share. I think we're really lucky that our award leaders are really connected to the award offices and connected to the boards and to the community generally. There's a lot of sharing that we do, and we are really proud, and we really love to showcase the award. We get excited about every part of it, all the big stories and the little ones. I think it's just that we love to share about it, and we do it in every way we can, every platform. We will show you as many posts as we can before you start blocking us. But I think it just comes from pride and excitement and wanting to grow it as much as we can.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sophia, Esanju, Bibi, and Kate for being here with us today and through all the different time zones, for sharing your life stories and for really empowering us and the next generation as well. Thank you to our audience members as well for tuning in and asking some amazing questions. And I'm going to pass it over to Connie here for last remarks.
Thank you, Rochelle. And thank you to the whole panel. My goodness, for sharing your personal stories, your ability to do that and help us understand more fully the impact the award framework continues to make in your lives, not just when you were participant, but continuing forward, and the lives that it's impacting in so many others, and your connections through that. I was looking for the right word to call it, and I'm sorry, I can only come up with inspiring, and I just don't think that's enough. But I'm going to say that you're more than inspiring, and when I find the right word, I'll be happy to share it. But it was a wonderful, wonderful presentation, and we couldn't thank you more. So from Award Canada, and for those of you around the world who've been joining us, we just say thank you very much, and we will be sharing your stories, and this will have a great impact for many, many people. So just a couple of reminders for the group that are here before you leave us. This is the midway point through Award Awareness Week. So what a fantastic event to have to celebrate us and give us the impetus to continue on through the week of celebrations. I do want to just draw everybody's attention to everywhere that we are having a photo contest that our award centers and participants have been involved in, and the voting is on Facebook. And where is it? It's on Facebook and Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yeah. So please, check those out and vote. Pick your favorite picture. Give, spread the word around and give those young people and our leaders who have been contributing to that, give them some support. So help us celebrate through that. And once again, just thank you to everyone. We have 2 more sessions this week. We would welcome you back. We have one with Mentor Canada and one with Volunteer Canada. 2 more very inspiring sessions for everyone. So please, if you're available, come back and join us. And to this team and this panel, once again, just a great big heartfelt thank you.